Hello and welcome Universe Mode. This is NXT. Tonight it promises to be a huge night for the brand as we head towards TakeOver. Whether or not these number one contender matches will actually apply to TakeOver, we'll find out, I guess, because I mean it still is about 6 or 7 weeks until we actually get to WrestleMania. But still, NXT here tonight with two number one contender matches for us in store on this evening, and we're seeing the first one right here, the Global Championship triple threat matchup between none other than EC3, Tyler Bate, and Pete Dunne. All three men want their hands on the title shot. Certainly Pete Dunne wants that shot of the title, given what he did at NXT TakeOver San Antonio. Will he be able to get his hands on the title, though? We'll find out. He's got to overcome two men to do it. The Sheriff of NXT, Stone Cold Steve Austin, put this in place, and now we see if Pete Dunne can reap what he sows, go on to become the number one contender for the NXT Global Championship. But that is not all that we are talking about on this night, because there is also much more to look at as we see then the main event of the evening, the 8-woman Battle Royal over the top rope. And you see quite a surprise there. There's only 6 revealed. 2 are surprise entrants. So I think we know where we're going with that one, but that is going to be later on tonight. You see the 6 there, Ruby Riot, Ember Moon, the iconic duo, and Trifecta are going to try and become the number one contender. Only one of them can do it, and I guess we'll find out who it's going to be at the end of tonight. Who will challenge Kairi Sane for the NXT Championship? We'll find out, but before we get to any of that, let's get underway with some more Cruiserweight-esque action. Cedric Alexander goes one-on-one against Gran Metalik. So this is going to be a nice way to get things underway. We saw the debut of Gran Metalik last week, defeating Noam Dar. Now he has another test for him here tonight, and Cedric Alexander, a guy who, of course, I've certainly had my eye on for a little while in regards to that Cruiserweight division that we hold so close to our hearts on ECW. Cedric Alexander here tonight in what should be a very interesting matchup. Two styles of Cruiserweights clashing. You know, you got the kind of high-flying aspect of Cedric Alexander meeting the Lucha Libre of Gran Metalik. One thing is for certain, both men have respect for the wrestling itself. Both men have respect for what goes on in between those ropes. And they are shared respect here from the crowd here in the Hammerstein Ballroom will certainly give them a reason to have respect for one another. The NXT roster is filled with talents, certainly a lot of them now focused on the future. And we're seeing 2 of them right here. Do not be surprised if in the coming weeks these guys end up on ECW. Yeah, sure, you can send it to NXT for experience and all that. But a guy like Cedric Alexander has been around here on NXT for a little while now, and I certainly have had my eye on him. And I certainly wouldn't mind taking him up to the big leagues of ECW. The A show, of course, that is ECW. He is a man who also would like to be in that position. That is Gran Metalik coming at you for his second match in just as many weeks. Metalik made a great impact last week with his debut victory over Noam Dar. It was a tough match. Noam Dar gave him everything he had, and I imagine the same will be said here for Cedric Alexander tonight. Cedric is by no means a pushover, by no means an easy opponent. That could be said for a lot of the NXT roster, to be fair. The only reason why you don't tend to see a lot of them in action is simply because it is tough to fit into NXT. There are so many great talents around here that sometimes don't get the time to themselves, you know, the recognition, I guess you could say, that they deserve. Guys like Tyler Bate, guys like Cedric Alexander, even guys like Matt Riddle, who have struggled to fit into the huge pool of talent here in NXT. You've got to do something special to stand out. And of course, you've got to get those victories when it matters, and that's what we'll see here tonight. This one all about getting that victory at the end of it all. Cedric Alexander now backs Gran Metalik up into the corner. Both men about the same weight, almost about the same height as well. Maybe Gran Metalik a little taller. Trying to see the size up. They may actually be their identical height as well. So this could be a very, very even match between both men. And there's an uppercut by Cedric now. And he goes underway here. Oh, good catch there. The boot by Gran Metalik. Lovely hip toss there. Let's see what will happen in this one now. I can expect a lot of back and forth to take place in this opening match here on NXT. There is a lot, like I said, coming our way. The 2 number one contender matches, but also a King of the Ring qualifier as well later on tonight. Of course, if you saw ECW, which you should if you haven't, You may remember that I decided to, in charity, give away a spot in the... oh my god, look at the agility there from Cedric Alexander. Head scissors takedown there and a kip up to follow up. But anyway, what I was saying is, use my charity to give away a King of the Ring spot to NXT. And we'll see that match being contested later on tonight. Beautiful move there by Gran Metalik now. And here we go, we may see some high flying or not. Cedric Alexander making it difficult for Metalik to take flight there. Gran Metalik now going to go up high. This is going to be a big one. Looks for the frog splash, and oh, Cedric moves out of the way there. Gives up his back to Cedric now, but lands on his feet. And a snap suplex there by Gran Metalik will send Cedric Alexander back down. Nice little back and forth sequence by both men there. Let's see what... Oh, look at that sling blade there. Speed of Metalik to hit that, and Cedric Alexander does a wise thing, rolling out to the apron to catch himself some breathing room. And look at the respect from Metalik there, giving him the time that he needs. But when he went in there, Cedric had him right where he wants him. Oh, forearm. Cedric Alexander now with the opportunity to capitalize, and indeed he will. Up high. Lovely elbow drop there. Into the cover after it. Going to try and break Metalik here. Going to try and break the lost column, I guess you could say. I guess break himself into the lost column. Metalik kicks out there at one. Lovely running drop kick in the corner there. You saw Metalik try and step on his feet as well. That just wasn't happening. Cedric Alexander now. Suplex, swinging neck breaker. All the work that he does just setting up for that lumbar check. If it's a devastating finishing maneuver, no matter who gets hit with it, it is going to hurt. Beautiful move there though. Standing sunset flip powerbomb by Gran Metalik now. As I said, this matchup is going to be back and forth, and it most certainly has been. This is what NXT is all about. The future talents like we're seeing here, but also putting on matches that will make you realize just how great these talents really are. Up in the powerbomb position now is Cedric Alexander. Nowhere to go. Dumped on the turnbuckle there, face first with a powerbomb snake, guys. Look at how quickly Cedric is out of that one. Back up to his feet. Oh, didn't get all of that leaping clothesline, but got enough to bring Metalik off his feet there. Let's see what... Oh, Cedric is going to go for elbow drop there. Have to risk it all to not allow Gran Metalik back up to his feet. God, this matchup has been so back and forth. Beautiful elbow drop there by Cedric Alexander now as he wants to look for the victory here in this one. Downward spiral, gets all of it. May well lead him into position to plan out something here. And he's going to go back on the apron. Metalik's still a bit dazed. Cedric now calling him up to his feet here. This could be a big aerial move by Cedric Alexander. Oh, springboard clothesline. Cedric could be closing in on a big win here if he can secure it. There's 1, 2, and oh, Gran Metalik kicks out at 2. Cedric Alexander so close to picking up the win there, but just couldn't get the job done. Now he takes it up high. Metalik bringing himself up to his feet here, but I don't think he's aware of what's behind him. Cedric Alexander prepped and ready to fly it all. Metalik moving out of the way a little bit. And Gran Metalik will use that to his advantage here to turn the matchup back into how he wanted it to go. Takes him down there, and he's going to go to the springboard here. Springboard elbow drop. That was gorgeous as well, the way he hit it. Metalik, though, dragging Cedric, and what is he going to do now? Rolls over, and oh! Unorthodox. Certainly is the way to say it, but this isn't. And this could secure a victory here for Gran Metalik in this one to continue on his victories. Cedric Alexander, meet the Metalik driver. Planted him on the money. Done deal, if you ask me. The Metalik driver and the cover that ensues with 1, 2. Cedric Alexander is defeated. It is victory for Gran Metalik as he continues on his winning streak now on NXT. Another guy who looks to try and break the mold, break the barrier that NXT puts up in its place to try and fit in. Metalik with another win there, and his respect growing amongst this Hammerstein ballroom crowd. And you know, they say the phrase, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. Well, if Gran Metalik can make it here in the Hammerstein Ballroom, he can truly make it anywhere. And he certainly is doing a good job of that. Another good win for Metalik there, but a great performance by Cedric as well. Really enjoyable way of kicking things off here on NXT. Now we would do to come up next a tag team matchup, but apparently we are receiving word through that will not be the case right now. However, it is related to the tag team division. It's coming up right now. We are going to hear from the leader of Sanity and one half of the #1 contenders for the NXT tag team titles. Eric Young is up next. And here he comes by himself. There's Eric Young here. Last week, Sanity overcame the DCC to close out that faction warfare. And now we approach the future. Sanity was winning that 6-man tag team match, became the #1 contenders to the NXT tag team titles. It was a brawl. It was too difficult to call. But it was Eric Young who got the win, pinning Chris Sabin at the end of it. And now we'll see what Eric Young has to say here, what warnings he has to give. I don't think we've heard Eric Young speak before this, and his warnings are subtle but sweet. The DCC are behind them. American Alpha lies in their future. What happened to the DCC was not the end of business, but rather the future of a warning. The crossroads will arrive with American Alpha, and when those crossroads do strike, it is Sanity who will make sure that the road of American Alpha does not progress. NXT TakeOver is just rolling around the corner right now. And he knows when he comes there, Sanity are going to finish what should have been taken care of all the way back in Toronto. To American Alpha, to anyone that wants to get in Sanity's way, the time is numbered. The days are counting down. TakeOver awaits. The final meeting between Sanity and American Alpha, and the final meeting it will be, because when it is all done, when it is all settled, Sanity reign supreme. And there we have it. Eric Young is ready to take those titles away once and for all. He couldn't do it at Toronto thanks to the DCC. To be fair, at TakeOver San Antonio, they lost by lucky circumstances, you could say. But at TakeOver, to the night before WrestleMania, this is going to be the meeting that will decide their fate. Well, that is that done with. That is Eric Young's subtle but in a way almost bruising warning to American Alpha. He is ready to let this end. And date settled is TakeOver the night before WrestleMania. TakeOver Orlando as we know it to be. That will be the time when we end it. But anyway, we will focus out this tag team matchup right now, and a man finally returning back to in-ring action. And of course being Big Cass here. If you don't remember, or if you're new around here, let me get you up to speed. Big Cass had a spot of bother with No Way Jose. Wanted to take care of business and make this career about himself after removing Enzo Amore at the start of this series of Universe from his side. Big Cass has let that go. Big Cass, by that I mean Enzo Amore. Big Cass now wants to set on making NXT about him, on making people remember who he is and why people should fear him. No Way Jose, in Big Cass's mind, as he said before NXT TakeOver when their match was due, reminded him of Enzo Amore, and he was going to put him down for good. When their match rolled around at NXT TakeOver, lo and behold, Big Cass, for whatever reason, just couldn't do the match. Apparently some kind of injury got in the way. But what did happen was a certain Mike Kanellis made his NXT debut and took care of No Way Jose. Whether or not there's some kind of partnership forming between Big Cass and Kanellis, we don't know. But that is certainly not the case here tonight. But he is teaming with a man who is also known for wearing pink as well, that being Bret the Hitman Hart, former NXT Global Champion. Bret, since TakeOver Toronto, has struggled to fit into the mold. And he wants to get himself somewhere in this NXT again. And this tag team matchup here, he's going to work alongside Big Cass to try and get that victory. And we'll see just if that'll be the case. Their opponents, though, are looking like pretty decent, a pretty decent duo themselves. Here comes the first man. And I talked about him in the last match, about he wants to make an impact, and he gets that chance here tonight, because here's Matt Riddle coming towards the ring. Riddle with real purpose to get a big win here tonight. I mean, he's had 2 matches, one of which was the number 1 contenders match for the NXT Global Championship. The other one, he went one-on-one against the NXT champion in Corin, and fair play to him. Certainly gave his fight to the NXT champion on that night. But now here, Matt Riddle will team with No Way Jose to go up against Big Cass and Bret the Hitman Hart. And it's kind of interesting that Riddle and Jose team together because they always have the same attitude, that very flamboyant, charismatic, in some ways lax attitude. No, you know, Matt Riddle, though, when the bell rings, it is all about business. His mixed martial arts background comes out to play. But No Way Jose, we know what he is. And I've called him it on a many few occasions. The leader of the conga line. The Fiesta himself. No Way Jose, back in ring since TakeOver, since his undefeated streak came to an end on that night. Now he looks to get a bit of retribution against Big Cass. I highly doubt that those 2 men have finished their business with one another. And this tag team match, if anything, will do more to advance it than what it will to put it aside. No Way Jose comes towards the ring here. And that phrase about making it in New York, you can make it anywhere. Well, this crowd is on their feet for No Way Jose. They love the excitement that he brings to this brand. And you know what? Usually I wouldn't be a fan of it, but I gotta admit, with No Way Jose, I certainly am. He is a blast to enjoy within this ring. The entrance makes him who he is, and let's be honest, when he gets in that ring as well, he's a fine athlete. He's almost as tall as Big Cass, including the afro, of course. And his wrestling ability as well is certainly one to behold. He's got great speed and great agility for someone of his height as well, but so does Big Cass as well. Is what makes them so similar. No Way Jose heading over to Big Cass now. Look at that, Big Cass just looking at him and say, what the hell is this guy doing? But No Way Jose is ready for this one. Bret Hart and Big Cass a little bit opposite one another, if you notice. They're not really standing next to each other to talk out strategy. It seems that Big Cass highly focused on No Way Jose there, and Jose's going to make him wait a little bit as Matt Riddle is going to kick this match off against Big Cass, and literally kick this match off as well. Do not be surprised when the kicks come out to play. Look at that, he's giving up a lot of height though to Big Cass. What he lacks in height, he certainly makes up for in his wrestling ability. Knee, elbow into the knee there, that's going to hurt, especially with no pads on. Power slam there. Big Cass almost have to say, yeah, you can use your kicks all you want, but when brute force comes into the question, Big Cass is the real bringer of it. Elbow in the back of the head there. Let's see what Cass looking for there. Almost looked like a gorilla press slam. Decided to change his mind at the last minute, and it allowed Riddle opportunity to escape. Look at the strength now, Matt Riddle. Alabama slam there, and with a 7-foot base of Big Cass, that is going to hurt that bit more as well. Great strength, though, being demonstrated by Matt Riddle there. Lovely back suplex. Holstered the leg in as well, so it was that bit more difficult for Big Cass to even think about fighting out of it. In the turnbuckle now. Here we go. Tag made. No Way Jose is in. And double team there between Riddle and Jose. Big Cass trying to get out of here almost as quickly as he got put on the floor there. And now we get the match that we should have had a TakeOver taking place here. Jose and Big Cass going after one another. No Way Jose coming in with quick jabs and strikes. Went for a double chop there, didn't get it, but oh, Big Cass denies him at the last moment there of getting that one. Brings him down now with a snapmare and a hard kick there. Almost looked like he was in the back of the neck, and Cass wants out of here. He's gonna let Bret take the fall for this one. Bret the Hitman Hart now, when you can certainly imagine that a no-nonsense guy like Bret isn't going to take too kindly to the flamboyant arts that No Way Jose brings into the ring. Jose now with Bret Hart in. Lovely suplex. There's that great in-ring technicality of Jose that I was on about. It was a perfect, pitch-perfect suplex. No Way Jose right now doing a good job here, just trying to bounce back, get his confidence back that he may have lost a TakeOver. But one thing's for certain is he's not denying Matt Riddle as well the chance in this ring. This is going to be a great matchup here between these two men, Riddle and Bret Hart. Two fine athletes in their own right. And here they go, getting this one underway now. Oh, look at that kick in the leg there. Runs across, big kick in the chest. Matt Riddle The man fired from the UFC when he competed there, despite being on a winning streak at that point, but now has turned his hearts to professional wrestling and has turned his hearts to NXT as well, and is sharing the ring with the man who does call himself the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Bret now starting to take control. Hoists him up here, does Bret Hart now up to one knee, but oh, he's going to go for a suplex here. Thought he might have taken too long. Indeed he did actually, as Riddle finds his way out of that one. And take a look at this now. He's going to sit down on this one. That is going to do some damage to you. The weight of Matt Riddle being brought down onto your chest, but Bret Hart kicks out and gets kicked firmly in the spine for his troubles. Riddle and No Way Jose are taking care of business right now. Spinning heel kicks being delivered here, or spinning back kicks rather. Bret the Hitman Hart not interested in some agile maneuvers. What he's interested in is proving his technical work rate, and what a suplex that one was by Bret. Riddle now may be in trouble. Taken away there and into the turnbuckle of Bret Hart and Big Cass. Tag made here, and oh my god, Cass up on the top rope. Cross body there from the 7-footer. God, how do you react to something like that coming at you? Big Cass now up on the second rope again. I was talking about the agility of him, and he's really demonstrating a double axe handle, pummeling into the head of Matt Riddle, who is a long way away from making a tag into No Way Jose now. Riddle locked in a camel clutch of sorts. Slips his way out of it there as well, and oh, running drop kick into the back for Big Cass to endure there. That's going to hurt you a little bit, especially when it's coming from Matt Riddle as well. Oh, what a hard shot though in the face. No remorse shown. Riddle has to roll out of the ring there to give himself some semblance of escape almost. Running for a flying forearm there rather he turns into. Big Cass wanted a tag out there. He's not going to get the chance to. Misses the slap though, does Riddle. That time he comes back with an uppercut. Matt Riddle now is starting to fight back, but No Way Jose. Gotta imagine there's hunger within him to get in this one, and get in he will, but he might want to make it quick if he wants to get his hands on Big Cass. Jose back in the ring with Big Cass now. Here we go. Round 2 between these guys. Forearm there by Big Cass, and the shot's coming in now. He's not going to be pulling back on any of these either. He's delivering all of them as hard as he wants to No Way Jose, and look at the strength of Big Cass there. Cannot deny that is powerful. Big Cass, is he going to go for the Empire Elbow here? Yes, he is. He is going to go for it. Empire Elbow, and he gets all of it. Will he look to follow up with the East River crossing to finish off No Way Jose here? Jose is crawling. Big Cass is going to look for it here. East River crossing is denied. Counter there by Jose. And No Way Jose now. Not sure if he knew what he was chucking in, but he Irish whips him into his own corner. And up on the second rope now goes Jose, and here come the strikes. Count along, there's 4, 5. Bret the Hitman Hart there got himself intervened and broke that one up. While the crowd was counting along to No Way Jose. Give Big Cass an opportunity to get himself back in this one. Twisting neck breaker there, and down he goes. Can Big Cass finish off No Way Jose here? Can he put this business beside him once and for all? Big punch in the gut there. Jose now. Oh, looking for a power slam of sorts. Great counter by Big Cass into a DDT. God, spiked him on his head. And now the hard punches into the head. Big Cass and Bret the Hitman Hart having a little bit of an argument, but there it seems as ringside. I think Big Cass wanted to make the tag, and Bret Hart just kind of watching on the outside there. Maybe he was maybe I'm just reading it wrong. He was almost telling him, watch what I'm about to do now. Because Bret Hart just got back up on the apron there, but no way Jose now full Nelson, and down goes Big Cass for his troubles. Cass crawling here, leaps into Bret Hart to make the tag, and right the way you go down, Bret. Uh-oh, and it may not be any way back up for you either, because here it comes. Gonna be locked in, Cobra Clutch Slam. Learn to live with it. Cobra Clutch Slam, and the cover on Bret that follows with 2. Bret the Hitman Hart kicks out. But you know there's a man on the apron that would love the victory as much as No Way Jose. Riddle tagged in. Bret Hart is on his own. And Matt Riddle will make him pay for it. Oh, look at that knee in the face. Into the cover now. Can Cass make the save in time? There's 2, never mind. Bret Hart is still kicking out here. Big Cass up and over, and out he goes. Riddle left alone with Bret Hart here. Bret though able to fight out of it. Forearm shot, but again it doesn't mean anything. Riddle with a big running kick into the gut there, or the chest rather. Looking for a slam of some sort, but Bret Hart able to counter it now. And look at that, he was trying to crawl there in to make the tag, and he couldn't get what he wanted there. Bret denied it, and Bret's going to look to win this one now. Going to look to make Riddle tap out here to the sharpshooter. Will he get what he desires? Will he finish off Riddle here? Matt Riddle says no way Jose, and is able to get himself out of it. Drop kick there, and Riddle sends Bret down. Look at the way Big Cass is slumped on the ropes there. Doesn't that speak volumes? Look at these kicks now though by Riddle in the corner. He doesn't want to make the tag into No Way Jose just yet. He's got business that he wants to finish off here. Brings him up to his feet. But Bret Hart is able to, look at how quickly Bret was able to counter out of it there. Bret Hart is virtually on his own in this one, though it has to be said. Big Cass cannot help him right now, and Bret will do anything it takes for the victory if it means that way. Went to use the ropes but couldn't secure even a 1 count on Riddle there. Very quickly out of that one, and the tag was almost made into Bret, but he powered his way out of the turnbuckle there. Riddle pulls out the counter now. Brings him down to the mat there with that reverse DDT. God, in the background, Big Cass is clinging there. That shows the damage that No Way Jose did to him, as Jose is tagged in now. Double elbows into Bret Hart, who looks to try and make the tag into Big Cass, but Jose ain't interested. Let's see if No Way Jose is ready to end this one now. Into the turnbuckle goes Bret Hart, and it's going to be a hard impact for him as well. Snake Eyes, down you go. Oh God, look at the strength demonstrated by him there to just throw him. Big Cass will make the tag in now though, and with Bret on the outside and Riddle recovering, it really is the one-on-one now. Oh, moves out of the way of that attempted drop kick, and both men swung wildly and missed each other. Oh, there's the drop kick finally that Big Cass looked for. What else will Big Cass go for now? Nothing. There's the counter by No Way Jose. And he's in the corner here. He's winding up that fastball punch of his. And there you have it. Socked in with it. Big Cass could be done for now. Cobra Clutch Slam incoming. The end of this one on its way. Retribution in some sorts for Jose. He gets it. The cover that follows. Bret is nowhere around to save him. There's not 3. How are they kicking out of so much? No Way Jose has to think on his feet there and makes the tag into Matt Riddle now. Forearm shot now, and Riddle will make him feel it as well. There's the leaping knee in the face. There he is jumping into the cover. The count on Big Cass. There goes Bret Hart, and that still won't finish this matchup. Now what will Riddle look for victory? Oh, he's going to go for it. Rings of Saturn. Rings of Saturn on Big Cass. Will embarrassment fill up Big Cass as he's forced to tap out here? Yes, it will. Big Cass submits. Riddle and Jose are victorious. and a semblance of revenge is enacted by Wwe Jose. That's what you get for walking out on him a takeover. That's what you get for ducking his challenges. That is a victory for the team of Wwe Jose and Matt Riddle here, and a victory they can celebrate as well. But don't think, as I said before, don't think this means the business between Wwe Jose and Big Cass is finished, because believe me, it won't be finished until one man lays at the other on their own in the ring for good. And with all the bad blood that has boiled between these two men, if I was the NXT general manager, I'd have my eyes on TakeOver for that one. Well, there we go. There is victory for those men. But now we get into the big part of the night. Now we get into our marquee matchups here. 2 number 1 contender matches and a King of the Ring qualifier. And we're going to get things underway with one of those number 1 contender matches. The triple threat match to determine the number 1 contender for the NXT Global Championship is up next. Will it be Tyler Bate, EC3, or Pete Dunne challenging Kurt Angle for the Global Championship? We'll find out next. Only one of these men can become number 1 contender, and we're about to find out who it's going to be. You know, all 3 of these men would love to have their arm raised and become number 1 contender at the end of it all, but that right only goes to one. And EC3 would like it to be him, that's for certain, as he heads towards the ring now. EC3's had quite a few opportunities of getting a chance at the Global Championship as of late. He was in a qualifier matchup for the 10-man Battle Royal. He was... I think I might have actually been it, to be fair, but still, not bad for a guy who hasn't done really anything much of note since coming here to NXT. But EC3 looks to make himself the number 1 contender right here tonight and settle that business once and for all. Let's see if he can get what he wants here in this one. He's going up against two of the best wrestlers to come out of Britain in a long, long time. 2 have had many story passes one another. And one of those men who certainly and absolutely wants to become the number 1 contender by any means it takes. And we certainly saw that at a TakeOver or San Antonio, didn't we? That he'll do it by any means it takes. That was certainly the truth for Pete Dunne. We'll talk more about him when he comes out, but as for right now, EC3 stands in this ring, ready for action. Ready to put this one away. Ready to become the number 1 contender for that Global Championship. And I think EC3 and Kurt Angle would be a bit of an interesting matchup, that's for certain, but so could this one as well. A rematch from the past. As Tyler Bate heads towards the ring. One of the most beloved talents in his own ways in NXT, simply because he is such an underdog that you can't help but cheer for this man. Tyler Bate heads towards the ring here. Still young, still full of talent, and still a long ways to go in his career. He comes towards the ring here, ready to try and become the number 1 contender. Bate and Angle had a great matchup in the past for the NXT Global Championship, and they'd like to continue it here, it seems, with another matchup, I guess you could say, added to their string of them. We'll see if that'll be the case or not, but there is Tyler Bate right now, and full of enthusiasm and hope and optimism. But certainly one thing is, you know, that doesn't get you everywhere, but does get you a lot of places is your wrestling ability, and Tyler Bate possesses an awful lot of that. What he also possesses is experience against the man he's going to be facing here. He has faced this man on a great number of occasions, and he will face him again here tonight. Bar, you know, it is a triple threat, but he's still going to go up against him. A man who had a lot of people talking about him coming out of NXT TakeOver, and a man who wants to become number 1 contender by any stretch that he can. He spoiled the Global Championship matchup between Kurt Angle and the Big Show, and now he looks to become number 1 contender and reap the rewards for himself. Here is Pete Dunne, but of course he has to overcome everyone else in this matchup to get the reward that he wants. Pete Dunne now, of course the matchup was made last week, I should go back on saying this. Stone Cold Steve Austin, the sheriff of NXT, the spokesperson in other ways for the NXT general manager, came out and said that if Pete Dunne wanted the shot at the Global Championship so much, well, he'd have to fight for it. Fight for it he will do here tonight. In this triple threat matchup against EC3 and Tyler Bate. This one should be an interesting one. That is for certain. I'm not too sure. I mean, the favourite going off of momentum would be Pete Dunne. Favourite off of wrestling ability? I don't know. I mean, sure, Bate and Dunne have spades of ability within them, but EC3 is the biggest man in this matchup. He is, you know, he has his physical prowess over the other two, and that could lead him on to the victory that he wants here tonight. The number one contendership he wants as well. All three of these men are hungry for that opportunity, but only one can get it. Now we're just going to have to find out who it will be who's going to get it. Pete Dunne really soaking in the atmosphere here from this Hammerstein Ballroom crowd. Almost jaw-jacking with the fans here. Certainly not a favourite wherever he goes, and Hammerstein Ballroom has become one place where he definitely isn't a favourite. The favouritism for Pete Dunne doesn't matter. The reaction doesn't matter. What does matter is victories, and he wants to secure one of them right here tonight. The bell rings and we are underway here. EC3 going to roll out of the ring here. Try and let Dunne and Bate go at it, and look at that. Pete Dunne ain't interested. He will go after them both there. German suplex on the outside for EC3. And we have got this one underway quickly on the outside. Referee can do nothing to stop this. No countouts, no DQs. Just got to watch on. Pinfalls can take place inside of the ring though. And look at this, they're both ganging up on him now. Pete Dunne in trouble here as he gets set head first into the steel guardrail there. And into the steps as well. And EC3 now will go after Tyler Bate. Now he wants to take on both of them. And on the outside, everything's going to hurt a little bit more, and there is certainly a lot more you can use to your advantage as well. Bate counters that and punch into the gut of EC3, and he'll send him back into the ring, ignoring Pete Dunne there to get to work. Dunne, though, is getting up to his feet and getting back in the ring here, and didn't really get all of that lariat, but enough to take the limelight away from Tyler Bate there. Double underhook, fall away suplex, and he roll out of the ring, and here go these two men again. Dunne and Bate locking horns. Great slam there by Tyler Bate now. As EC3 recovers on the outside. Still early stages in this matchup, so it shouldn't take too long. Backwards elbow drop there, took too long. Of course, these two men have had so many matches with each other, certainly outside of this universe as well, that they can read one another so well. Great powerbomb there by EC3. Dunne certainly took all of that one. Elbow drop and a knee into Pete Dunne as well. EC3 will look to try and reap the rewards, but Tyler Bate broke that one up very quickly. Crucifix now by Tyler Bate. The small guy is holding his own. Double underhook suplex again for EC3. A fallaway suplex once more. It's almost like he's out of his element in the ring here with these two men. He is going to go after the arm here, and Pete Dunne is going to watch on as he steps on the forearm of EC3 there. And Dunne will follow up with an eye rake, but countered by EC3. Arm dragged, and he decides he wants a bit of time on the outside, leaving EC3 and Tyler Bate to go at it one-on-one here. Clubbing blow in the back now, and EC3 this time gets the suplex that he desires. And into the cover he'll go as well. Pete Dunne, though, there right away to stop that one from taking place. Saito suplex there to EC3. Pete Dunne now with both men down, and that is exactly what he wanted, to have his way in this matchup. EC3 clothesline into the turnbuckle there, but it is only the beginning of what Pete Dunne had in store for him. Bate, you might want to move. Buckle bomb! And EC3 now has to roll out of the ring yet again, leaving Bate and Dunne alone to share this ring with one another. Up on the top here, Dunne not interested, counters whatever Bate had in mind. Clothesline. And a lot of force in it as well. Went for the enziguri, but he moved out of the way. Counter there though in response by Dunne. Super kick into the ribs now. And a running forearm to follow up. God, these two men, like I said, they know each other oh so well. It just adds to these matches. There goes Pete Dunne. Trying to get the best of Tyler Bate there, and it didn't work out the way he wanted it to. And Bate will look to try and take the cover here and with it the number 1 contendership, but it isn't going to happen. Pete Dunne, of course, has been a little bit more front and center than these two men. You may remember at the Royal Rumble, he was a surprise entrant in it. And that certainly made quite a spectacle. But EC3 here may look to become number 1 contender. He hooks him in for 1%er to Tyler Bate. And a backbreaker to Pete Dunne. Can he steal the gold here? Can he steal the glory? Is he going to become number 1 contender with this? The cover on Dunne, the cover on Bate. There's 2, and oh, no, no, no. Bate kicks out at 2 there, but he is still feeling some impact. Elbow drop to the back. Pete Dunne is just slowly watching on now. EC3 almost manhandling Tyler Bate here. Suplex to him there. Big boot though to try and catch EC3 off guard. And he's going to capitalize on the work that EC3 started there. Step up in Zaguri now to Bate. And look at the sly tactics of the bruiserweight here to try and become number 1 contender. Bate hasn't even recovered. Oh, counter though. Countered what looked to be the bitter end. But Pete Dunne makes him pay for it there. Back suplex, hooks in with a cover. The count and a kick out. Dunne also got busted open hard from that elbow there. That is a nasty, nasty open wound on his face. But he's going to be more livid about the fact that he didn't get the bitter end and finish this match off than what he is. Going to be about busted open. Drop toe hold on the outside there. Going to leave EC3 down a little bit longer now. Will it work out for him, however? That is what we'll find out. Suplex here. Just dumps him off by the side there. Will this one be the one to finish him off now? Will this send him to the number 1 contendership that he desires? He's going to have to be quick. EC3's getting up. Bitter end by Pete Dunne to become number 1 contender. He's done it. Pete Dunne is the number 1 contender for the NXT Global Championship. We will be seeing that match take place after all. Pete Dunne capitalized on the work that EC3 had started with and never gave Bate a chance to get it back in this matchup. Your number 1 contender, and I have been told that that matchup will not be taking place at TakeOver, but will be in a few weeks from now for that Global Championship. Pete Dunne could head into TakeOver the night before WrestleMania as Global Champion. He's just got to get his hands on it against Kurt Angle a few weeks from now. When that date is settled, we don't know. But whenever we are told, we will have the information for you. Just got to wait, I guess, the words of the sheriff as well. He'll probably be the one to deliver the news. But there you have it. Pete Dunne talks the talk and walks the walk as well. Now, your number 1 contender. Kurt Angle wants his revenge. Well, he'll get it a few weeks from now. Pete Dunne, good victory for him there. Shame about what happened to Tyler Bate, however. But we're going to move on now to our next contest. It is time for the King of the Ring qualifier to take place. Who will join the other 7 that we know going to King of the Ring? We'll find out. Coming up next, KUSHIDA against Pentagon Jr. Both guys have got a great chance to go all the way here to King of the Ring. They can only be presented to one. And I got to admit, the NXT general manager has allowed 2 very fine athletes as well to take this opportunity. And here's the first man out here, KUSHIDA. A guy who came in with a lot of purpose, like so many others, has struggled to break through that barrier. It is tough here in NXT. I'm not, if you struggle to break through the barrier, I'm not going to take the piss out of you and say that you can't make it. It is so tough to make it here in NXT. There are so many world-traveled athletes. There are so many of arguably some of the future best in the world here. You can be lauded with that claim in this roster. But it has to be said that KUSHIDA has a great opportunity awaiting him here tonight if he is victorious. King of the Ring is a great place to get your brand out there, to get yourself out there, and to attract the incoming contract offers that could follow up from it. If KUSHIDA went all the way and won King of the Ring here, certainly I imagine myself, Raw and SmackDown would be wanting to snap him up instantly. Because, you'd want the King of the Ring winner on your brand. It's different. We can't choose the Royal Rumble winner because Uchika Okada chooses that for himself, but we can certainly get the King of the Ring winner on this roster. And it could be one of these two men here, because here comes the opponent of Kushida, Pentagon Jr, coming out to the ring here, ready for this opportunity. Would Pentagon Jr make a fine King of the Ring? He certainly doesn't have the look for it, does he? But there is one thing that he would deliver in that matchup, and that is a lot of pain. That is a lot of torture for his opponents. And imagine a guy like this going up against the behemoth, the freak on Monday Night Raw and Lars Sullivan. These two men would knock lumps out of one another, but not just him as well. Imagine if he went up against Baron Corbin as well. Those two men would knock lumps into one another, beat the pulp out of each other until the other one couldn't stand. Pentagon Jr, to be fair, would do that with anyone else in the matchup. Kota Ibushi, yeah, he'd do it. Miz, yeah, he'd do it. Oh no, imagine those two men clashing. Those forearms could be heard around the arena, probably around the entire state as well, with how hard they can hit. But will Pentagon Jr get there is the thing that we have to discover first, let alone how hard he'll be hitting his forearms. He has to get there first, and to get there he has to go through Kushida right about now. This one should be an entertaining matchup. That triple threat was very high octane. This one may be a little bit more chilled out, but still going to be a tough match in its own right. And maybe a tough match for Kushida as well to overcome. We get this one underway here, and oh, look at that. Almost psyched him into that collar and elbow tie up there, did Pentagon Jr, and he is using his weight advantage completely. From the get-go here, Kushida just under the 205-pound range. Pentagon Jr way up there at about 250, I think. And that is all power, all brute, all muscle. And he is demonstrating it all here to Kushida right now. There was a gut check to endure. A hard strike in the back. But Kushida is still able to fight back here. The wrestling ability of Kushida will not let him stay down for the 3 count this early. Off the ropes here and quickly countered there by Pentagon Jr. Counted back though by Kushida. These two men very much so going back and forth with one another. It's going to be another gut check maybe. And indeed it is there. He got all of that one again into the gut of the time splitter. In the turnbuckle with a hard hesitation drop kick bringing down onto him there. And it ain't done there for Kushida now. He's just being dumped with hard-hitting moves again and again. Cover after that shoulder powerbomb, but a kick out at 1 by Kushida. And here come raining in the strikes of Pentagon Jr. How hard he loves to hit. How hard he loves to strike, and how much he enjoys leaving his mark on his opponents as well. And he certainly could have done that there with that chop in the chest. In the turnbuckle now. Notice how he took his time there, walked over, because he thought in his mind, and he also knew as well, that Kushida wouldn't be getting up to his feet anytime soon. Pentagon Jr. is in total control of this one. Got a slap to the face there, countered by Kushida now, who looks to create an opening. Big drop kick, and Pentagon Jr. goes down. And again, counters. And again, that spinning kick to the gut connects. All these kicks just hitting so hard. He may have kick pads underneath those boots of his, but he strikes as hard as he desires, and all of them hurt that bit more. Pentagon Jr. in position. Pentagon driver. He got it. This one could be settled already. Cover on Kushida, who does kick out at 2. Kushida telling him, you want to finish me off, you're going to need more than that. And look at how quickly he's back up to his feet here. Not too sure if he meant to put that collar elbow tie-up in place there, but it was almost like it was just on his mind. It was almost like just a thing to do. No thought process, he just did it. And now here goes Kushida now with a fight back. German suplex. And all of a sudden, Pentagon Jr. might be on the back foot here. Maybe not though, as he slows things down with that Russian leg sweep. And there is 240, 250 pounds going up to the top rope here. Brace for impact, Kushida. This one's gonna hurt you. Drop kick, Kushida sidestepped it. He knew it was incoming. He moved out of the way. But he cannot capitalize right away. I think Pentagon Jr. has done a lot of damage with those kicks of his into Kushida. Pentagon Jr. now, though, right out of that one. Hard punch in the gut, turns around KUSHIDA now. This is going to hurt you. Double chicken wing gut buster there. And still the hard strikes just continue to rain in here. Shot after shot, and oh my god, what does he have in mind here? It's an apron hanging DDT. That's what he had in mind there, with no time for KUSHIDA to get any breath within it. Cover, and that is smart. That is smart by KUSHIDA. Doesn't risk kicking out, doesn't exert energy, just the ropes are right by him, so why not use them to his advantage? Irish whip now, though, and look at that. KUSHIDA makes Pentagon Jr. come towards him now. Great work there. Standing sliced bread now. And he jumps into the cover after it, hoping it's enough to take him to King of the Ring, but it won't be. KUSHIDA is still possessing a lot of fight back within him, and Pentagon Jr., to some extent, is almost struggling to put him away for good here. KUSHIDA in position. He's looking to wind up for it here. A fastball punch of his own. He decked him with it. Will it send him to King of the Ring this time round? There's two, and no. Pentagon Jr. still fights his way out at the 2 count. But can he fight his way out of this one? What a comeback this would be by KUSHIDA if he gets the win with it. Locks him in, and we are going back to the future. The cover. 1, 2. It does it. KUSHIDA looked out of it. KUSHIDA looked like he was done for. But he showed that there was no way he was giving in. KUSHIDA is your winner in this one and is going to King of the Ring. NXT, represented by the Time Splitter. One of the best of the Super Juniors in New Japan is making his name now in King of the Ring. That is the field completed. Ibushi, KUSHIDA, Miz, Ono, Corbin, Swan, Lars Sullivan, and the 2-time, hopefully, looking to make it 2-time King of the Ring winner, Kenny Omega. And we'll see if he will. King of the Ring's looking good. I cannot wait for that to be brought to you live streamed next Sunday here on this very channel. You do not want to miss it. One of these men is about to have their careers changed for the better, or in Kenny Omega's case, continue on to make history for himself. We'll see if that'll be the case. I'm looking forward to it, and it's for certain. Well, it is time to move on now to a match that I'm also looking forward to. The main event of the evening, 8-woman Battle Royal. One of these women is going to NXT TakeOver to challenge Kairi Sane for the NXT Women's Championship. We don't know 2 of them, but we do know 6 of them. Ember Moon, Ruby Riot, the iconic duo and trifecta will look to become the #1 contender. 2 groups, but only one is going to be #1 contender. Let's find out who will be next. Let's get ourselves amped up and ready to go with this one. There can only be one #1 contender, and there is a lot of bad blood that is boiling within this ring, that is for certain. Trifecta got on the bad side of Ruby Riot and Ember Moon last week. Certainly Jazzy Gabert got on the wrong side of Ember Moon after powerbombing her onto the steps and then proceeding to finish her off after the matchup. I'm surprised that Ember is actually still standing and able to do this matchup here tonight. I gotta give her that much courage. I would have backed out of it if I had the opportunity, but that is not the woman that Ember Moon is. She is too much of a fighter to allow herself to stay down. That is not what we're looking at here. We're looking at Ruby Riot, a woman who has had so many great opportunities in the past, so many great title matches as well, and would love to become #1 contender against Kairi Sane at TakeOver Orlando to finish off what she started so long ago. Can Ruby Riot become the #1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship? That'll be something that we'll find out, but here comes the woman who has got on the wrong side of Ruby Riot and Ember Moon both. Here comes the woman who leads the duo known as Trifecta, the trio of beliefs the Trifecta follow were talked about last week. The beauty, the brawn, and the something else that I seemingly have forgotten. My bad. But there is certainly... Well, how did I forget it? I don't know. Trifecta will probably not be that best impressed with me for forgetting their 3 elements that make Trifecta what it is. Tessa Blanchard comes towards the ring here. She has had Jazzy Gabert by her side since they effectively arrived in this universe. And Tessa Blanchard here tonight will look to become #1 contender. Imagine what kind of proving point that would be to the NXT Women's Division. She is more than just a pretty face. She is more than just someone who happens to have a brute of a woman by her side. She is also potentially the next NXT Women's Champion should she win here tonight. But there may come a case where she has to lock horns with her own tag team partner. But that could be the same that could be said about these 2 women here. The first woman out here, Peyton Royce, she may have to lock horns as well with her fellow iconic duo member, Billie Kay. And that would certainly be interesting in its own right. Royce, a former NXT Women's Champion. Billie Kay had a standout last few months and capped it off by coming ever so close to becoming the NXT Women's Champion at TakeOver San Antonio. And here tonight, those 2 women may have to meet in this ring. Imagine if it came down to the final 2 was the iconic duo for that title shot. You know one of those 2 women has got to become #1 contender, and you know they both have that fight and that drive within them to get it. You got to think Billie Kay may also believe that she deserves that opportunity, that she may have been hard done by TakeOver. That, though, I guess we'll find out. There is Peyton Royce right now, the Venus Flytrap of NXT, preparing for this one here. I imagine, wouldn't surprise me if coming out next would be her tag team partner. And of course, the other half of the iconic duo, here she is. It is Billie Kay. Looking to become #1 contender yet again, and you've got to think with another title opportunity against Kairi Sane, she could certainly finish it off. Let's not forget, Billie Kay has 3 non-title victories over the NXT Women's Champion. 2 of those, she pinned her in. 1 of them, she pinned her later out in the ring, 1, 2, 3. The other one, okay, was a roll-up, and the other one was in a tag team matchup, where granted, she pinned Ruby Riot, not Kairi Sane, but still, a win is a win. And can Billie Kay make it another win here tonight for herself and bring herself to another takeover and complete what she started the NXT after TakeOver Toronto? Can she be the thorn in the side of Kairi Sane she cannot get rid of? And will that thorn strike at Orlando and take the NXT Women's Championship away from her? Maybe so. Just waits to be found out. The iconic duo as of late have almost been cast aside by Trifecta. So we don't be surprised also in that regards if we see Trifecta, an iconic duo, going toe-to-toe with each other in this matchup. But of course there is also some outside threats. You know, you got Ruby Riot, Ember Moon, and we got those 2 women that we don't know of. Those we still wait to find out. But here comes the other woman in this one. The woman who is brave, that has to be said, for fighting on this far. The woman who is brave for after taking the beatdown that she did last week is here tonight to try and become #1 contender, to try and stick it to Jazzy Gabert and to Trifecta as a whole. Ember Moon is here to become #1 contender. She was in the inaugural match to crown the first ever NXT Women's Champion last year at the original NXT TakeOver. Can it come full circle at TakeOver Orlando? Can she become the #1 contender here tonight and become the champion on that night? Certainly would be something that Ember Moon would like to accomplish. Whether or not she'll make it a reality, though, well, she has to overcome the other 7, and I highly doubt she's at 100% as well to try and overcome them. She is hurt. She is wounded. And she may be easy pickings, but one thing I imagine as well Ember Moon will look to do is go right after Jazzy Gabert, go right after the alpha female and get a measure of revenge for what she did to her. As the ring starts to pile up now with these women, They're all just watching on. They're all just waiting for the next one to come out. And I gotta think in my mind, the next one coming out here, in many ways, is prime target number 1. And as Ember Moon stands in the ring and waits for her, here she comes. The alpha female of NXT, the brute that she is, the dominant force that she has known herself to be, arriving, or about to arrive rather, is this woman right here. Jazzy Gabert heads towards the ring. Is Gabert going to work alongside Tessa Blanchard in this one, or is it going to be every woman for herself? Is she going to just huff Blanchard out of the way and get on with business? In my mind, this is the favorite in this matchup. Make no doubts about it. Look at the look of her. Look at the physique that she possesses. And look at what she did last week to Ember Moon. Manhandled her. Threw her around the ring like she was nothing. Powerbombed her onto stairs and beat her up with them as well. Jazzy Gabert will destroy anyone for her own self-gain. If she has to, I highly doubt she has any problems destroying Tessa Blanchard either. Well, that is all 6 of the women that were built. Now it is time for the 2 surprise entrants. Who are they going to be? Who joins these 6 women in wanting to take on Kairi Sane? Who wants that shot as bad as these women? We are about to find out. Here comes one of the surprise entrants. Now signed to the universe into the NXT Women's Division. Oh, it's Santana Garrett. I believe the last time we saw this woman in this universe may have been all the way back at the Queen of the Ring last year. But oh my, is this a signing as well? Santana Garrett, don't let her look deceive you. This is a woman who can be dastardly. This is a woman who can take on anyone. This is a woman who will take out anyone as well. And she has joined the NXT Women's Division to become just that, to take out anyone and to become NXT Women's Champion. Santana Garrett is here. But the question is, on this night, will she become the #1 contender? Is this going to be the opponent of Kairi Sane? It is a big debut. But debuts aren't the only thing you can hold close to you. Something else you have to hold close to you is a victory. Something else you have to require to be worth the hype is the victory. And we'll see if the victory will go the way of Santana Garrett. But there is one left to come out. Who is this final woman? I don't know. And that is what makes it so intriguing. The Hammerstein Ballroom waits. The other 6 women around the ring wait. Who is the fuck off? Oh god, it is! Well, you want to talk about talents, you want to talk about signings, you want to talk about the women's division. This may well be the best women's wrestler on the planet today. She is certainly up in that debate, and before that I would certainly have said she was the best woman on the independent circuit, but now she's in NXT. The Australian sensation Toni Storm has made it to NXT finally. She has just sparked one hell of a reaction. She has sparked a debut. Good God, what a debut that one was. And look at that, the 2 new debutantes are going right for one another. Storm and Garrett going after one another. We have the iconic duo as well going after trifecta in Blanchard and Billie Kay. Toni Storm is in trouble already on the apron. Oh, she's clinging on though. This match is going to be a difficult one for me to call, that's for certain. I'm going to try and keep my eye on top of it as much as I can. This ring is filled up with talents, and certainly all of these women have the same belief in mind. They all want to become the #1 contender. And look at this. Gabert has gone right after Ember Moon here. And Toni Storm and Santana Garrett are still going after one another. Still looking to try and prove who the better signing is, I guess you could say. In the turnbuckle now goes Garrett. Meanwhile, Gabert and Kay going at it. Continuing on the trifecta iconic duo feud there. Santana Garrett's in trouble up on that top turnbuckle, maybe. She gets herself out of it. The iconic duo now working away a little bit on Ruby Riot and Ember Moon. Oh, look at that now. Jazzy Gabert will go after Tessa Blanchard. She just threw her there. But it's almost as if Blanchard doesn't want to fight Gabert. She wants to fight anyone else. Tessa Blanchard is trying to hide away here almost. Look at that springboard there. Oh, but a big boot will certainly deny any springboard that you're looking for. Jazzy Gabert is going after her tag team partner. I said, was it going to be every woman for herself? And that has been proven right now. Ember Moon in trouble, courtesy of Billie Kay. Hoofed up there, might be eliminated here. Toni Storm and Santana Garrett still going after one another. Toni Storm now going to go after Tessa Blanchard here. Can she get rid of her though is the question. Big forearm, looks for the elimination there but is denied. Forearm again, Blanchard can't get herself out of this situation now. And we got the iconic duo going at it as well. We got Riot and Kay going at it. Toni Storm was almost eliminated. Billie Kay is gone at the hands of her own tag team partner. Billie Kay, who was the #1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship just a few weeks ago, just got eliminated by her own partner, by her own iconic duo member. If that doesn't iterate that this is every woman for themselves, I don't know what will. Garrett now going after Gabert. Ruby Riot after Tessa Blanchard here. Oh my god, Blanchard in trouble. Oh, maybe not. She gets herself out of that one there and gets right back in the ring as quickly as possible. Ruby Riot up and over the top rope there. Hard shot. Ember Moon makes the save though for her friend. But she may reap the troubles for it. There goes Ember Moon. And the ring's starting to whittle down a little bit here and there. Ruby Riot couldn't get herself away from the ropes either. And Tessa Blanchard will look to eliminate the both of them here if she can. Gabert looking to try and get rid of Gabert. Royce rolled under the apron there and Toni Storm watching on. Santana Garrett was close to going out there. Storm going back to business with Tessa Blanchard there. That's quickly stopped in its tracks. We still have all of Trifecta in the ring, the two members there. We've still got one half of the iconic duo. We've still got the two new debutantes in this one. And look at that with Garrett and Storm rolling out of the ring. That leaves Trifecta with no choice but to fight one another. It's almost something they don't want to do, but they have no choice. Certainly in the mind of Tessa Blanchard, she doesn't want to do it. But the question is, while you have all these bodies in the ring, do you try and get rid of Jazzy Gabert while you still can? Is that a wise decision in many regards, to try and get rid of her while you still can? Because, we saw in the 10-man battle royal to determine the #1 contender for the NXT Global Championship a while back. If you leave the big man, aka in that situation, the Big Show in the ring by himself, he will finish the job. Royce in trouble, but meanwhile, pile driver by Toni Storm. Spiked her on her head. In the ring, Blanchard could be done for. Trifecta could be whittling it down a little bit. Can Garrett hang on against Gabert here? It's tough, but she does so. Riot now up against the ropes. Tessa Blanchard will look to Toni Storm will look to capitalize. Ruby Riot, though, denied any opportunity of that happening. Meanwhile, Jazzy Gabert still pummeling away on Santana Garrett, and she's gone. Garrett is out of here. And the field whittles down a little more. Now we're down to four. We're down to 4, because there goes Peyton Royce. That leaves Trifecta, Toni Storm, and Ruby Riot. And Tessa Blanchard will capitalize immediately, sending Ruby Riot into the turnbuckle. She wants to make it 3. She wants to leave Storm by herself here. Can she get a desire? Can she get her wish? Riot's in trouble. Riot is gone, and we're down to 3. Trifecta versus Toni Storm. And Storm is in deep trouble now. Trifecta can have their way. Double DDT to the newest debut here. Santana Garrett didn't survive this long. Toni Storm could be in trouble right now. Jazzy Gabert strolls on over. Oh god, that was looking dangerous there, but she got out of the way of it. Tessa Blanchard just watching on. Nice reverse DDT there as Jazzy Gabert certainly got hit with all of that one. Arm drag now. And Tessa Blanchard in turn is in trouble here. She's already taken a pile driver from Toni Storm. I highly doubt she wants to have anything more delivered to her. Up and over the top. Oh, Toni Storm is eliminated without the trifecta. We are down to Gabert and Blanchard to become the #1 contender to the NXT Women's Championship. This is suddenly very interesting. A friendship being tested here. Trifecta are on their own. Will Tessa Blanchard become the #1 contender? I said what'll happen if you leave Gabert down with only a few bodies left in the ring. This is what happened. Tessa Blanchard may well have screwed her opportunities there by getting rid of Toni Storm, but she is fighting against her partner here. But in turn, so is Gabert. Double-handed chokeslam. No, Blanchard counters. Blanchard counters it. And a big clothesline. Tessa Blanchard. She did it. Your new #1 contender to the NXT Women's Championship is Tessa Blanchard. Trifecta got what they wanted. Trifecta has a #1 contender going to take over. Her name, Tessa Blanchard, and it came down to the duo as well to finalize that deal. It was supposed to be about the likes of Storm and Garrett making their debut, but Trifecta made it about them. They finished the Battle Royal, and now one stands tall at TakeOver Orlando. Tessa Blanchard challenges Kairi Sane for the NXT Women's Championship. That one you do not want to miss. Kairi Sane already had to overcome one duo. Can she overcome another? We'll find out. That'll end this episode of NXT. What an episode of NXT it has been as well. Thank you guys for watching. Take care, guys. And Sarah.